From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Diane Parker. Miller has our Monday forecast, plus a generous donation from a Montana child to the Kalispell Food Bank. But first, our top story. In Billings, a Rocky Mountain College football player is dead following a shooting early Saturday morning on Pauley Drive. MTN confirmed the 18-year-old freshman who died yesterday from his injuries is Chandler Stalcup, a defensive lineman for the Batlin Bears. Billings police say a 16-year-old local male was arrested and charged with deliberate homicide. MTN's Haley Monaco reports.
Around 9 a.m. Sunday morning, Billings Police Department SWAT team was activated to Sourdough Lane in the Billings Heights. You can see some broken out windows behind me, and Billings police are still here investigating.
They were quiet.
This is a really quiet neighborhood.
That is until early Sunday morning when there was a heavy police presence at this triplex in the Heights.
Heard a siren and thought someone was going to get pulled over, and then look out the window and see that you could hear the flashbangs go off and the glass breaking and officers getting ready to go into the house, and just lots of bangs and sirens.
Matthew Callahan watched from his home as officers went into the residence of apartment C at 1490 Sourdough Lane.
They were talking about they had a warrant for the search warrant to come into the house and enter the premises, and that's when they started busting out the windows and making entry.
Billings Police Lieutenant Matt Lennick did confirm with MTN News Sunday afternoon that police were acting on information from Saturday's shooting where a male was shot near the 900 block of Pauley Drive. MTN has confirmed that victim is 18-year-old Chandler Stalcup, a freshman football player at Rocky Mountain College from Crystal River, Florida.
So we watched one kid get pulled out first, and then there was a few more that followed. I think they were 3 males, 1 female at the end.
So when you say kid,
it looked like they were anywhere from like 16 to 20. They were all really young.
According to Lieutenant Lennick, the people involved in Sunday's incident were taken into custody for interviews, but no arrests had been made as of early afternoon.
First I was kind of curious, and then I was a little alarmed, kind of scared. It was kind of a scary feeling.
In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
All athletic events at Rocky have been canceled until further notice. Police have connected another scene to the shooting. A disturbance at a residence on Avenue C resulted in a weapon being discharged and involved individuals leaving the area before the shooting on Pauley Drive. A recent fire that destroyed Glendive's Jordan Inn also burned a piece of Montana history hanging just behind the bar. MTN's Charlie Kleps reports.
J.K. Ralston is probably one of the most famous Montana artists. Much of his work is kept here at the original cabin he worked in, now located at the Western Heritage Center. But one of his most famous pieces was a 33-foot-long mural that served as the bar back at the Jordan Inn.
I think that was half the town's first job.
In its heyday, before a massive fire destroyed the building, the Jordan Inn was a staple in eastern Montana.
I literally spent a quarter of my life working in that place.
That place was so much of my life for so long.
Former employees Karen Ryan and Shad Kaufman know firsthand just how special it truly was.
Everyone knew the history of all the murals and of the agates and of the hotel itself.
All of those murals were masterpieces painted by J.K. Ralston, one of the best-known Western artists of his time.
And really, I idealize kind of the American West, in particular, the time before the ranges were all locked up and things like that.
But none were more magnificent than the 33-foot mural that sat behind the hotel bar.
You could see the brushstrokes, you could feel the brushstrokes. It was an amazing piece of art.
It meant so much to the community.
Ralston's granddaughter, Elisa Scott, recognized that value.
When you think about a painting like that and a bar like that in a small town like Glendive, that's where everybody had their first legal beer.
And that's why last year she began forming a group that was working to get the mural out of the building, which had been condemned for 10 years and was falling apart.
I would say that we were making progress. We were very well aware of the fact that we probably were going to have to take the wall out in order to do it because the painting could not come off the wall. It was too brittle.
Unfortunately, their attempt came up short. That fire took the painting with it.
Of that kind of history just be gone all of a sudden is just, it's mind-boggling, and it breaks your heart. And I wanted to throw up.
Her emotions felt by many.
It really tears at my heart.
Very emotional, very, very tough.
A true Montana treasure now gone, and the history along with it.
And the state of Montana has lost a gem of a recording of what we were when we were beginning to become a state.
Reporting for MTN News, I'm Charlie Kleps.
MSU Billings Crow Language Club members tried their hand at making buckskin dresses this weekend. They usually meet to practice the language and spend time together, but this weekend, a new challenge. Evergreen University's Northwest Heritage Program in Washington sponsored the workshop. They provided all the buckskin, beads, and supplies.
It's really important because this is kind of a dying art. You don't see these types of dresses as typically as you have in the past, and so they're looking to revive tradition within Crow culture.
Local forecast coming up in just a bit, but first, what's going on across the U.S. today? Let's take a look at those headlines for the 48s. Southern Plains to the northeast, we could see some showers. Parts of the northern plains, upper Midwest, and Great Lakes. Snow squalls are possible through Halloween Tuesday. And the central U.S. to the Appalachians, we're looking at well below average temperatures and record-breaking cold to continue expanding through the beginning of a brand new month. Yeah, we're in the final days of October. Where has the year gone? So we do have this backdoor cold front coming in. We've got high pressure. It's going to keep us dry, but that pressure gradient in between high pressure and that front coming through, it's going to get really, really tight. And that means we have a chance to see some very windy conditions across the region today. I'll tell you where and how strong coming up.
You're about to meet a 12-year-old that just celebrated his birthday, only this wasn't your normal celebration. No birthday party, no cake, just kindness. MTN's Sean Wells introduces us to a young boy from Kalispell who turned his birthday wish into hope and inspiration for us all.
When James Gorman asked his son Jack what he wished for on his 12th birthday, Jack said he didn't want anything. Instead, he wanted to give something.
Just something like that on my mind for a while, yeah. It was something special, really.
It was something special Jack and his dad did. The two drove to the Flathead Food Bank and made a donation, a $5,000 donation from James's company, Titan Asphalt.
I just wanted to give back to the community, really.
Jack gave back in a big way, catching Flathead Food Bank Executive Director Chris Sidmore by surprise.
I was in shock. I mean, it was yesterday, it was snowing for the first time, and I thought, man, I feel like I'm in a Hallmark movie. I was just blown away by the generosity.
The Gormans and food bank staff drove to Costco and filled 12 grocery carts full of food.
Thanks to Jack, we got well over 3,000 pounds of food, and we'll figure that will feed hundreds of people.
Inside Costco, shoppers caught on to Jack's birthday gift, inspiring other shoppers to chip in.
Had people handing us money down the hallways of the grocery store.
And everyone was singing and clapping for him and wishing him happy birthday. And they're saying, here's 20 bucks, here's 40 bucks, here's 15 bucks. How can we be part of this? So yeah, the young guy inspired a lot of people.
Jack says his main goal is to inspire others while helping his neighbors going through hard times in the Flathead.
Just knowing that people's gonna have some food tonight.
I'm from the Valley, and I tell you what, ever since I started working here, I've never been so proud of the Valley. And you know, seeing young guys like Jack, you know, I was telling my grandma, I said, man, is it okay to have a 12-year-old as my role model? And the answer is yes.
In Kalispell, Sean Wells, MTN News.